everybody who's watching online. So, do we want to go ahead and begin with the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Really quickly, I'd like to welcome a new face that we have today that most of you don't recognize. We have Mr. Kevin over here. He is a new agent in the Brighton office. We've had some really friendly faces on board over the last few weeks, so please make sure to greet them warmly and help them if they look lost. And if you don't know the answer, point them in the right direction. All of our offices have onboarded new agents, so we always want to make sure that they feel comfortable and warm, and anything we can do to help. So we are very excited. Start cruising in town. First up, I would like to welcome Matt to come down. And Matt. Some of you may recognize him. He is actually here to talk about his officially endeavor that he has going, that you guys have all heard about for the last year and a half at least. So I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to you.
Thanks, Nicole.
If you're good.
I appreciate it. How many here have heard about Horse Feathers Kitchen and Cocktail? Well, we haven't done our job then, right? Because we're the new restaurant over in Pinckney, right off of West Schaefer. You go by the B line, you go west, it's about 3/4 mile on the left-hand side. We're 11,000 square foot facility. We have two entities under one roof. One's our Horse Feathers Kitchen and Cocktail, one's our reserve event center. We're going to hand out a few items here, the menus. We have some beautiful things going on for the holidays. I want you guys to feel comfortable to ask us questions after you leave. But one of the goals today is that I want to introduce RE/MAX Platinum and the group here to what we'd like to offer you guys is you come in, you buy a gift certificate for a client. We're going to offer you a $25 gift certificate to you or in addition to what your client gets. So come on and see us, grab a gift certificate, bring us your RE/MAX card, please, because that's the only way we can identify you. And then happy to provide you that $25 gift certificate to benefit for you or a relative, or it'd be a nice holiday gift for a friend. What I would like to do is maybe hand out some menus. This is our updated menu as of yesterday. We haven't changed. And then Miss Emily has our holiday items that we have going on. We're doing a pre-sale on some Thanksgiving dinners. We have brunch with Santa. And then we have our prime rib special on the back page as well. $35 on the prime rib Sundays. That's where we have it. It's wonderful, getting great reviews regarding the prime rib, so come see us on those days. Yes.
You do gift cards online?
Emily, can we do a card online?
Yes, we do have a link for online gift cards.
Yes, we do have the ability to do that. That's why we're offering it.
How much you gotta spend to get a $25 gift card?
100.
Hundreds?
So if you buy a $200 gift certificate, we can provide you a $50 gift certificate. $300 is $75 back to you. So I'm not going to limit the number of dollars that you want to purchase. You can return back to $25 gift certificate to you. Friends and family.
How do we identify ourselves online?
Well, just send it through your email, your RE/MAX email, then it's associated with you. And it's pretty easy for us to make sure you can take care of no nonsense. And then, so our restaurant is open Tuesday through Sunday, 4 till 10. On Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday, we're open from 4 to 11. And on Sunday, we're open 4 to 9. And we have a happy hour every day, 4 to 6. And then happy hour prices extend every Thursday through the whole day. So cocktails and some hors d'oeuvres do the whole day on Thursday, but we usually have a few hors d'oeuvres, 4 to 6, and cocktail specials every day, 4 to 6. And I'd like to invite Emily up to talk a little bit about our event center.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emily. I'm the event coordinator here at the Reserve Event Center and the sales director. I'll get started. I just had a question about the Christmas brunch. The ticket sales for that will be on sale right after Thanksgiving. Be sure to check in with our social media. Gosh, I'm nervous. Don't work in front of this crowd very often.
We're all friends here, don't worry.
Thank you. World Youth. Leave the therapy dog over here. So you can purchase tickets through event. What's the name of that?
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, yes. So we're using Eventbrite again. It's worked well for us.
Thank you.
And then our event center is. Our event center is a 286 capacity. Then it breaks into rooms of thirds, which can do smaller events such as baby showers, wedding showers, retirement parties, other events like that.
Birthday party. We have, the wonderful thing about the event center is that our kitchen can do any catering that you want, from hot dogs and hamburgers to lobster tail and fillet for your entertainment. It's a big room. Our chef's 30 years in the business, trained professionally in the Culinary Institute of America, and with Emily's help, and she's great at it, even though she's a little nervous right now, she's wonderful with the guests. So we can provide a detailed plan for your event from guests.
I was just gonna say, they did our, my birthday party, and it was Western themed, and we had 2 servers, and they showed up in Western wear, and Matt, hilarious, it was just great, and they were amazing, food was outstanding. So it's not just at the event center. If you have something you have going on at your home or at an off-site location and you need a caterer, grab them, it's great.
And being with the Remax family, you know, we'll.
She just said my birthday, she didn't.
We're supposed to be taking care of your family, so. The big, come out and see us, reach out to us, Emily's number's on the back. I have some cards with me if you'd like to grab my name and number and have some questions. I'll hand out some cards too. And then, I got a couple of trivia questions to inspire us all to, come out and get a gift certificate, right? So each one of these represents $25. So now I have your attention. We're a for-sales organization based down in Proctor, right? Yeah. What is the average days on the market in the U.S. for a home? Anybody?
28 days.
17.
23.
17.
43.
43 is close, but not there.
50.
45.
44.
62.
39.
52.
41.
Almost.
39.
40.
51. 51.
Under 50.
43.
So,
We're Remax Platinum, they don't sell.
It's average around here.
That's right, they don't.
47.
okay, here's question number 2. What is the highest sold property in the U.S. for 2024?
20 million.
46.8 million.
You're not even in the realm yet.
No.
64.
192 million.
322 million.
1 billion.
Well, that's aggressive, but all right.
250.
Under 200 and over 100.
Yeah. 175.
Can you repeat?
150.
150, there you go, $150 million.
Wow.
In Malibu.
Thank you very much.
Whose house
My
was
husband's gonna get another one of your campfire bourbons.
it? What's the commission on that?
The espresso martini people.
Live in California, probably a 0.5%.
We can do a decaf, espresso martini also.
Very good.
So those are the- question number 3 for the last, what is the highest sold property in the county? Livingston County.
Last year.
1.5.
3.6 million.
2.2.
2.7? 2.5?
2.6.
2.6.
Well, no, we said that
It was actually in our office, which is a beautiful thing to have.
That's in my subdivision.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nicole. That's all that listing cable control.
Was it Renee?
Yeah.
It was your cousin that sold it too.
Oh, really? Oh, bless his soul.
Not
Tony,
this
no,
one.
your other cousin, Tony.
Oh, well, yeah, God bless his soul. Yours too. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. Come to see us. Love to have you all out and experience the restaurant.
You don't have to do anything, I'll take care of you. Those of you who haven't yet should see what you were supposed to see from the beginning. If there's issues, please call me, I will.
And Pam's talking about the Christmas party invitation that just started going out. So there's a little glitch with it. Some people have been having it and some have had no issues.
It was emailed when, recently?
It was emailed yesterday.
I need somebody who has not responded yet to test it.
I'll test it if you
I'm
need.
doing it right.
Okay.
Sent yesterday?
So what it wasn't doing is acknowledging the guest, okay, if you were bringing a guest.
You were supposed to, if you told it, you were, that 2 people were gonna be there, you were supposed to get 2 sections for name and menu selection. That was all they said they called.
What time did you send it out?
Pardon?
I don't see it.
Yes. So this is for the all-company Christmas party. I just want to reiterate for those online, Kathy, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Some of us didn't get it.
Okay.
I did it.
Okay, then we'll have to check and see what's going on, and then most likely, check your spam, because it came from
It went out to
RSVPify.
236 people, so I'm pretty sure that you should have gotten it, but if you didn't, and it's not in your spam, please let me know.
Is it in our link for Insight, Remax Insight?
It is not, because they're individual links. They are individual invitations. So if this becomes an issue, we will figure out an alternative way if we have to. If we have to, we will. So just please, if you have RSVP'd and it did not look normal, I have received some emails already.
Look
We
for
will acknowledge those.
RSVP and do a wild card and see.
Let's see what happens, okay? Some work and some have been having some issues. We will make sure between now and the final day to register that everybody has an ability to have the correct number of whether they're coming or not. It was in your spam? Okay, so Keisha had it in spam, so check your spam, don't clear it out. If you can't find it and cleared out your spam already, please let us know. We will get that situated. Appreciate it. So this is actually at the event center that you were just hearing about, and the menu is beautiful. We are serving
Prime rib, chicken piccata, honey Dijon salmon, and the vegan selection is cauliflower steak.
which is delicious if you haven't had it. If you have not had an opportunity to visit the establishment, it is delightful, it is beautiful, it is a great vibe in there. If you like to have cocktails, the cocktails are fantastic, their bartenders are amazing. You will recognize the faces from other restaurants in the county that were very well renowned for their work. They're all working now for this event center and for Worst Feathers. So everything is just really top notch. You will not be disappointed. I cannot say enough good about it. If you've had the experience to go, I highly recommend you go back, and if you haven't, try it out. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Appreciate it. Pay me later.
Free cocktail.
And the address couldn't be easier, 2345, so, you know. So we are starting a boot camp. What are you doing? What's going on? What's going on here? What are we doing? It's not. Pay me later. No. It's not this kind of boot camp. No. I know. He's like, am I gonna get yelled at for this one? No. That was fantastic.
I'm so
It couldn't
sorry.
have landed any better.
What do you mean it's not this kind of boot camp?
It is not this kind of physical boot camp. It is mental boot camp to kick your butts, okay?
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, we're going to tell you about it, Autumn. Sit down. No, get back up, everyone.
No, play the video.
Okay.
Attention, all real estate professionals. Let me guess, you became a real estate agent for the freedom, the flexibility, and the big commissions, right? No. Instead, you're stuck Googling, how do I get future clients to call me back? Well, my friend, it's time to stop winging it and start winning it with RE/MAX Platinum's Bootcamp. In just 6 weeks, this program will teach you everything you need to know to dominate your market. Scripts, nailed. Prospecting, mastered. Target markets, defined. And time management, oh yeah, baby, we got you. Think of it as a boot camp, but without the push-ups, unless you want to do them. Instead, we'll whip your skills into shape so you can close deals faster than you can say, let me check the MLS. So, if you're tired of feeling like a rookie and ready to start living like a pro, sign up for RE/MAX Platinum's Bootcamp. Your future self and your bank account will thank you.
Autumn, that was awesome.
That was good.
Autumn made this video so much fun. She spent
All
a ton
in
of time.
Canva, by the way.
Yes. She spent a ton of time doing it. It worked. I shouldn't say she spent a good amount, but she perfected it amazing, and it is fantastic. So yeah, it is not a physical boot camp, as you can imagine, of course. It is for your real estate skills, okay? It is designed, correct, hey, get up. It's not just my show today.
Okay.
My show's every other
Go to the
week.
next one.
Yeah.
Next
So,
slide.
it is fully designed to get you moving. Even if you are well seasoned, we all need a kick in the butt, so.
Okay, so the idea on the boot camp is that
Did you take your outfit off, Jordan?
Yes.
the idea is that we want to start the year off right. So we are starting it in January. It is a 6-week full day commitment during the day.
Business
During the
hours.
day.
During the day,
business hours.
on that day. Yeah.
It'll be on Mondays, so all day Monday for 6 weeks, starting January 13th, each Monday after.
The format's going to be simply, we're going to stand up for 20 minutes, talk to you about how to do something, do basically a live drive, show it to you, and then spend the remainder of that hour actually executing what it was. It's not just standing up there and pontificating for an hour. We're going to actually go through all of these things, and you're going to set them up as we go through the class. From your CRM to the other stuff that we put into
Yeah,
it.
so goal setting, time management, prospecting, market targeting, the CRM automation, branding, and more. So it is designed to give you the tools that you need to have a successful year in real estate. So the course is set up for you to meet with lovely Lisa on a bi-weekly. She is going to keep you accountable during the program. We'll start your goal setting in the first week, and then she'll see it through, and then you'll just continue to add to your tool belt throughout the boot camp.
And I'm
Really excited.
gonna challenge Jordan that if 20 people sign up the first week, you have to teach it in this.
You'll have to fight my husband on that.
Every Monday is 5 hours. 6 hours maybe with lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, so every Monday we're here for 6
All day.
full hours?
Yes, it is
It's a
an
boot camp.
intense
That's fine.
program.
I thought I heard that, but I
Yes.
wanted to double check.
It's
that.
designed to be aggressive. It's designed to make you feel some pinch in doing and up-leveling what you're doing. It's time to hone it in, right? The market is shifting, and we're watching it shift. Not in a bad way.
No, it's
It's
good.
shifting like it ebbs and flows. This is not a bad thing. This is a normal, historical thing that takes place. Do not be afraid of things. Sharpen all of your tools, get your mind ready, because you've been able to throw stuff on the wall for the last couple years and it's stuck and you made good money doing it. Well, now we need to grind a little bit. We need to dig a little deeper. We need to remember how to dig deeper than what we used to, right? Than what we've been accustomed to the last little bit. I know you've all been working very hard. I'm not going to say that you haven't. However, with the shift, it's a different mindset. So,
Yeah, and all your management staff is going to be here along with Rebecca, who is going to be helping us. If you've worked with Rebecca, I don't think we have a plug-in here for her.
not today.
If you haven't worked with Rebecca on a one-on-one, you're missing out. She understands these systems at such a high level, so make sure that you set up your one-on-ones with Rebecca. She will be here helping with this class as well.
And the reason why, as a company, we're dedicating so many resources to those who show up to do the boot camp and all that. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of support in the room because we want you walking away at the end of each class or at the end of the day with tangible things that are improving your business. So it's not just sitting through a class and watching it and then taking that knowledge and going and doing stuff, but it's also in the class time itself, having something that you've created or done during it that so you have no excuse then. You're in the class, let's get it done while you're here.
One of the reasons that Lisa Regato is involved is at the beginning we're going to introduce you to this calendar called My Perfect Week. And throughout the 6 weeks, we're going to be giving you different things that you could add to your weekly calendar. Like, hey, as a professional, I'm going to do this every week. And then Lisa is going to help us keep you accountable and build that week. And each one of you, your week is going to look different because we're going to go through so many different things. You might not do the door knocking, but you might do this other thing. And we're going to keep you accountable. And at the end of the 6 weeks, you will have your perfect week of what you want to do in real estate every time you come through the door.
We're really excited. We'll be sending out signups later on, probably beginning of December, to start planning for the boot camp.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Wonderful. We will have guest people as well coming in to teach certain portions. We want this to be different than what you've done within the office walls. We want, should a boot camp have a little sweat and pain to it probably? Yep. Not in a bad way, in a good way, right? This is designed so that you don't have to spend $3,000 and go down to, what is the one called? Sweat Hogs? Down in Texas, wherever they're doing them. If you want to up level, you want to kick your butt, let's go, right? So we'll have those signups out for you.
Nicole,
Yes.
good question. I know it's not as good, but are there any virtual options if you can't make a particular Monday?
Let us discuss that.
Yeah, not on the first round because we have to finish vetting it. It's easier to do in person. But when we do it the second time, we'll try to give it some evergreenness to it.
Yeah, because this is our first time running this one. But let us discuss and see, because I know you have.
We will give you more details.
Probably. Oh wait, is it 9?
It says 9 a.m.
Okay.
Apparently 9 a.m.
All right.
9 a.m.
And I definitely remember.
Or it could be later, Jordan.
Well, yeah, I mean, 10 to 4 or 10, like 9 to 3. I mean, something like that is what we were shooting for.
Do we have a preference up between 9 and 10? Because we're here for you guys. If something works better, we're going to work with that.
Nick drives from up north.
Right.
So he can't always get here
At 9.
that early.
And I know that's something he will do.
I'm coming from Lenawee County, and I would really appreciate not leaving at 7 a.m.
That's perfect to know. No, we appreciate that. That's why we have open discussion. We're here for you.
Time and the road.
Yeah.
So Autumn is completely wrong. Ignore this slide. It is starting at 10 a.m.
I was
Yes.
extremely excited about it and couldn't wait any longer to start the program.
Yes. No, and this is why we discuss it, and we're far enough ahead to make adjustments. What was that?
Yeah.
He has fatigues for the boot camp.
Yes.
If you show up at 9, we'll do a pre-workout and then we'll do that.
Jordan will let you borrow his outfit.
Yes.
Are we, it's gonna be here?
It is here.
Down here?
Yes,
Yes.
it's here.
In the auditorium.
We hope to fill the auditorium. All right. To lunch. No. Lunch will look different on Mondays for a little while, Joe. All right. Okay. We have a fun little, we have some fun announcements. You want to go ahead and lead this one?
Yeah, sure. So these are the individual top 5 agents of all of Remax Platinum. This is not simply each office. This is the entire company. So Jamie Dietrich. Marty Turco. Susan Niethammer. Carolyn Schofield. And then I'm just going to say Shannon.
Congratulations. Jordan.
Go for it,
Okay,
Jordan.
so yeah, so then at the company-wide level, our top 5 teams so far, year to date for 2024, we have the DeCrube team, Spotlight Home Team out of Ann Arbor, the Kim Soba team, the Scott Myers Group out of Grand Blanc, and Team Callan.
congratulations to everybody. These individuals have accomplished extraordinary numbers, and it's something to really be celebrated. Everybody in this room has done fabulously this year, and all of our agents have, and you've strived through so much over the last few years with what we've all gone through. Everybody should be so proud. So
But it's not over yet. We have a month and a half.
we have a month and a half to go. This is just a little teaser that this can all change.
Hey everyone, we wanted to invite you to RC 25 coming up in February 21st and 22nd up in Traverse City. The registration opens on November 29th, so be sure to register and then book your rooms at the Grand Traverse Resort. Again, February 21st and 22nd.
Regional Conference is our biggest event of the year, and we can't wait to see you there. You've all worked so hard in 2024, so let's get together and celebrate your successes. I can't wait to see you up there on stage.
So it opens Black Friday, which is very normal. Every year registration opens up Black Friday. The hotel does sell out. I should say the more primary rooms sell out relatively quickly. If you want an opportunity, please register earlier than later once this opens. We hope to have a great turnout this year at RC25. We want to have a big skit with all of our agents because that one night has a full skit night and they have a contest and it's hilarious and it's fun. Let's have some fun with it. Joe, you going? Of course you are. Wonderful.
So the reason this is following those last two slides is, those top 5 agents, those top 5 teams. If we're there, they're likely to be getting awards, and we want to show support for our teams and our fellow RE/MAX agents who are getting awarded, and you're likely to also get to, walk up there and get your awards. This coming February, we are trying to have a much greater presence than we have in the previous couple of years. And so that's why we're making a push starting now to encourage everybody to make their plans, to mark their calendars, to get it on, on their radar, to get, make their room reservation and join us in February. Yes.
I actually have a condo up there, and I can fit, I don't know, like 6 or 7 people. So if anybody wants to.
Do you know what you don't have at your condo? A shuttle to the casino.
It's important, but that would be really, really fun.
Yes. She has a beautiful condo.
Yeah, so that's something.
That's an awesome
The camaraderie that's on the
We
shuttle.
can save some money and then, so keep me.
Stay out of that casino, Jim.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Margaret,
Oh,
think
yeah.
that is awesome, Margaret, and that is something for us to keep in mind, and maybe we can get something together for people who maybe are a little unsure and maybe just want to go up for a couple of days and see how things go. So it'd be awesome. Thank you.
1:30 in the morning, it looked like a RE/MAX Platinum bus.
You will see your entire management team.
Yes,
right? Yeah, so you'll
absolutely.
see all of us there. So let's go have a good time.
Absolutely.
Ooh, okay. Let me grab this.
Ready for this one?
Rebecca, come with me. So I started this way back when, and we've been testing it and testing it and testing it, and it wasn't until we added Rebecca that we were able to bring the pond systems to all of RE/MAX Platinum. So now, guys, every one of the offices has a pond system with office-generated leads that we are marketing to, and you guys can now go fishing. So, yeah.
Huge. This was very daunting to put together in a good way.
It took her brain focusing on like the lead routing and everything to get this working right, and I'm very excited that she joined the team and helped figure this out. I think at about right now we have about 3,700 leads across all offices sitting in there. That is going to grow. And I think over the weekend we even had a couple things happen. What happened in the pond?
So in the last 7 days, just in the Brighton pond alone, we've had 7 new leads come in, 3 of which have responded to our pond manager, our client services account. So basically what's happening is as these leads are coming in, the client services are the first ones to touch them. They get a text, hey, thanks for signing up. Someone will be in touch soon. And from there, we try to schedule appointments for you guys. So we actually have a rental person who needs an appointment for tomorrow.
If anybody wants something.
If anyone wants to start the pond.
Yeah, and what this is this, unlike other leads in the past, this is almost like a concierge service, right? So you are going to be able to go in there, log in, and see all the leads available in your office and see the history of what's been happening with that person. If they've been opening their emails, if they've been responding through the automations and the text messages or through the client services text messages, and you get to go grab one of these leads yourself without just like getting a random phone number and email address, so you have no idea of the history. Now you can see the history and you can see what they've been doing inside of the RE/MAX PON systems. This is now, careful, this is still in its infancy, so if we run into some bugs, be gentle, but this is something that we've been trying to build for a long time. We're very excited about it. So that's the carrot. Here's the stick. Here's some rules. We have some ways of reclaiming these leads if you don't do anything with them. Understand that the owner of these leads is RE/MAX Platinum. These are ours. It is owned by this company. So what they do with those leads is up to the company. If you do not communicate with that claimed lead within 1 hour, it is coming back. So that somebody else that will communicate with them is going to take it. It's not being auto-assigned. You went in there and claimed it. So if you're going to claim it, talk to them.
So when a new lead enters the system, everyone in the pond is going to get a notice that there's a new lead in there to grab. So when you get the chance, or as soon as possible, you might want to go in and grab that new one, but there will also be leads in there that the client services account is nurturing and growing in the hopes that eventually they might reach out and contact us, and then you might want to grab them.
And so that everything is fair and equitable, you can only take one lead a day. You know, this pond, one of the things that we can't turn on is limiting the leads. So this is the honor system. Like, technically, I'm just going to be blunt, you could go in there and claim all 3,700 of them if you wanted to. Don't do that. Don't be that jerk. Grab one, and grab one per day. The management team might reach out to some of the high active users if we've got some hot leads and be like, hey, this one wants to see a house in 45 minutes. But we'll kind of base that off of who's actually active and using their accounts. We can see all of this stuff. We can see, if you've completed your guides, we can see how much time you're spending in the system. We can see your communications on these ponds. Not your private leads. We can't do that with those things. Those are yours. We can't see them. But these are RE/MAX owned, so we can. Weekly CRM updates. So you are going to be working inside of what is now called Bold Trail. And that Bold Trail has updates that we're going to ask you to do, whether it's make a note that you called them or something. You have to weekly, if you've taken a lead, you have to update it weekly. Is there any other ways? Like the notes is a great one, logging a call is a great one.
Logging a call is a great one, the notes is a great one. All of the leads in there at some point as we're working through them will be on search alerts or market updates. So they're going to be getting communication from the client services account on a regular basis anyways. But we need you, if you're claiming them, you need to go in there and actually start trying to get them. And once you claim them, all those messages will start coming from you, not the client services account.
Is it gonna be the same like when I've done the boosts and I get those interests and I respond right away? Is it gonna be like that? Like that I have a client that was interested in what I boosted? And then we start? Is that the same way I'll get the same notices in my...
You're just going to simply get a notice that a new lead was added to the pond, and then it'll be up to you to go to the dashboard to look at it.
But no, I mean, once we touch it, then it's in my...
You will see it in your own CRM.
That's what I was asking.
Yes, okay. Yes. And I understand a lot of this is complicated, and so there's a reason that completion of the Agent Quick Start Guide training is required, because you need to understand how to use this system that we're telling you have to communicate within.
And when you sign up, you'll have to sit down with me and go over how you claim stuff, kind of how
You'll be
much
well
you
prepped
lost
for it.
Yeah. Just know that this whole team here is available for you if you get stuck or need some help. You want to get into this lead system, we can get you there. But complete your Agent Quick Start Guide. We do have a referral agreement that has a lot more detail in it that you would have to sign, because this is a referral that comes back to RE/MAX Platinum. Because we are spending a lot of time and effort cultivating these. Again, these are not a phone number and an email address that you just end up with. This is a history report of that person, all the communications. A lot of them you're going in and you're stepping in between the concierge service of us texting them and saying, hey, I'm now your realtor, here's my phone number, let's communicate, let's get this done.
It's designed to be ready to go.
What's up?
How much is the referral?
30%.
So, because if you think about it, like what we're trying to do here in some way is you have those teams out there, the team model where the team lead is investing, so many thousands of dollars every month in Zillow leads and doling them out to buyers agents who are given a kickback of 50% whatever.
Referral.
For the team lead. Sorry.
Kickback's a bad word.
Okay.
Bill
But
and
yes,
Twitch.
we realize that if we're doing it at the company level and we're pouring resources into generating these leads, we're doing paid boosting, we're doing organic, lead generation for these ponds, we can provide these leads to the agents out there who aren't on a team, but they want that same sort of lead opportunity. And in exchange, the referral that we're asking is much lower than what the team needs.
That's a better deal than being on a team.
Well, that's the goal.
This is not to hurt teams.
It's not to hurt teams, but it's to allow the individual agents to have the same ability, that some of the teams out there, that it's a model that works for them, and this is also a model that can work for individual agents who are looking to have just a lead source in exchange for a referral while they work to grow their business, and then,
and this is also. That's what I was going to answer. You can.
Yeah.
You can. Just understand that there's a referral that comes back to RE/MAX Platinum. But teams are welcome to be a part of this.
Everybody's welcome.
You all have access to the pond systems through your office, whether you're on a team or not. So just work it out with your team leader how you want to handle these referrals.
And this is not designed to be difficult. The accountability is not designed to be difficult. It's designed to make sure the client is getting what they're supposed to be getting. And we know that the client is getting, so that we don't lose them to a click somewhere else.
Yep.
That's the goal. We need to capture them so we don't lose that live lead who's ready to go to another third-party entity.
And we're going to be working on building out the websites and a lot of lead gen on the websites and SEO to try to drive leads into our pond system. So hopefully they'll start generating more and more leads as we get some of that stuff rolled out too.
And the snowball has been building, and we're watching it build, and it's time to go.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because the opposite side of this is that there have been leads that have come into RE/MAX Platinum without this program, and to be honest, as somebody that's been paying attention to our KV Core and Bull Trail since its inception, I've watched a lot of them go nowhere. And I was out, I was on vacation, and we had a guy that was reaching out to us through the Ann Arbor office trying to list his house for $400,000 and kept reaching out to us. And because I wasn't there paying attention and no one else picked it up, it went nowhere. When I got back and called him, you'd already gone to another agent. So this is a way for us to share that around all the agents, and you guys can grab those leads as they come in.
When will this be available?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, there's leads coming in, and we need people to work them. So
do we have a plan on how we are going to intro them into what's needed? Or are you just meeting one-on-one on a case-by-case basis, or do you want to schedule something?
We'll meet one-on-one on a case-by-case basis. Just bring your computer. We'll walk you through the steps. I'll tell you a little bit about what's happening to them before you're touching them.
Because you've been interacting with the leads currently.
Yeah,
Yes.
so right now I have a client services account, and I am acting as
the
client
concierge.
services for RE/MAX right now. So I'm doing that first touch with them, trying to get them to schedule an appointment, and then ideally set them off with one of you guys.
Cool.
This is awesome.
What up, Agnes?
Of course, I have a question. So, being part of the RE/MAX family, Michigan United Mortgage, I'm assuming that when we get these leads, that there's going to be maybe a button there that says, have you been pre-approved? Click on.
That's a very big assumption, Agnes.
Mortgage.
But guess what? There is a lender feature inside of this, and if we can get Michigan United Mortgage set up inside of it, then the answer to that is sort of kind of
going to
yes.
set that up.
I'm not doing anything for you. I'm kidding. Agnes, you and I can work together to get this set up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, cool. So one of the things, we did find a glitch because of the transition to Bull Trail. We wanted to show you this quickly. The Agent Quick Start training, it's not where it used to be. It did move. Rebecca took her time and recorded a quick video. So I just want to show you how to get to this. And we get notified when you complete this, by the way. So we will know, and that is one of the gatekeeping things to get into the ponds, and we will know you did it. So let me just show you this. So you got to come up to the learning portal.
Don't click the Agent Quick Start.
Actually, So right here is an Agent Quick Start. That is broken. Go to the learning portal. And then you're going to think it's the first one. It's not. It's the second one.
Make sure it's the one that says agent, and then you'll have a start button. I'd already started it, so I have a resume.
And you would land in this, and this is where you would complete your Agent Quick Start Guide.
This, if we've already done it, this is for people.
Most
who've
people
never-
have already done it.
Yeah,
yes.
so we did a big push earlier in the year. We had, at that push, about 30% of people complete the Agent Quick Start. So if you've already done that, we already know your name is highlighted. We know that you have access to this. If you have not gone through and seen this screen, you have not done it. A lot of people, when we first got KV Core, I know I'm talking about a lot about this, but when we first got KV Core, there was a button in the corner that kept popping up, and everybody assumed that was the Agent Quick Start. It was not. That was just a walkthrough. This is a different thing. So just know that.
Now do you understand why we have been pushing so hard? And this is one of the many elements as to why. But this one in particular, this has been in the works for a good 6-8 months, if not longer.
Yeah.
This is why we have been pushing and pushing and pushing for you to know the system. One of the this is honestly a huge big reason, outside of your own personal use. We need you to understand the system in order to be able to work the leads, because we need to know what's going on so that we can help keep it going forward. So it's a huge value.
Yeah. Any questions before we move on? Cool? Cool. I'm not done. The Bowl Trail Masterclass. Okay. So we just talked about all of that, the pond systems and formerly KV Core, and now it's called Bowl Trail. Rebecca and I just attended a Train the Trainer event where we were given 13 hours of training content and walked through it for 2 days of how to train Bowl Trail at a very high level. So, along with the boot camp that is on a Monday, we are really pushing it hard, because then on Wednesday, because we've noticed that you kind of need to know how to use the CRM to also participate in the boot camp, we are doing a Bowl Trail Masterclass for 4 weeks. It is going to be 3 hours in Ann Arbor, beginning at 9 a.m. to noon. The first one, again, is going to be in person, but 9 a.m. to noon on Wednesday, January 15th, and then running for 4 weeks. And we are going to run through the entire ecosystem of Bowl Trail, along with some of the other pieces that connect to it, like Remax Hustle and things like that. So you will learn, if you want to know and get your tech that you are offered at Remax Platinum, this high value tech that we offer you, and you want to understand it at a high level, this is where you need to be to do that.
This will also be hands-on, bring your computers. Each session is going to build on the one before it, so it really starts with the basics of creating your profile and takes you all the way through how to do landing pages and lead generation.
So one of the difficulties about doing this online is I don't think the first one should, because there is like every hour has about 20 minutes of us sitting with you at your computer, walking you through this stuff.
What if you don't have a laptop? We're just a desktop.
Go buy a laptop.
It's Christmas.
You can run through this.
Wow.
Joe, you can. It's a little more difficult, but I can show you how to run through it on your cell phone.
I can't do that.
We can show you how to do it on your cell phone too.
Is this gonna hinder us being part of the pond because we don't know all of this extra?
No, so the gatekeep to the pond is the Agent Quick Start and the referral contract. Like, that is different. If you want to know this system, this is where you need to be.
You also don't have to take this to be a part of the boot camp.
You don't.
But it
Because
coincides with it.
It does. It's just an extra layer for you.
right,
Yeah.
you
No
don't have to
vacation in January.
Right. So you do not, just to reiterate, you do not have to do this to be a part of the boot camp, but I personally believe that if you're going to do it, let's get it done. Let's knock this out in these 6 weeks, and then let's kill 2025 together. Any questions
Is it
here?
limited number of people?
No.
We can fit 45 in Ann Arbor, so that's the limit, and I hope we
How
max
do we
it.
sign up?
I'll send out a...
Do you plan on having a class here? Because to get her to go at 9 a.m. in the winter, all of it,
You can go, Joe.
We are planning eventually rolling this out. The only reason it's in Ann Arbor to kick it off is because I'm obviously there all the time.
Get your lazy ass over there.
But we will eventually roll it at other offices. These guys are also completely qualified to train these classes, so there's no reason they can't land in the other offices.
I foresee this happening here very quickly.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool beans? All right, I'm done.
Yeah. So real quick, I wanted to highlight the benefits of the different stuff that, like the magazines and all that we get. How many people saw this magazine?
Can't see what it is.
Michigan
the Michigan
Realtors for,
Realtor
current
that
edition.
just came out. And in it, there's a whole Q&A section, the best of the legal hotline. And all of these questions, when I was reading the questions and answers, I thought, okay, this is really well-written questions designed to get clear answers for us as agents, specifically with regards to all the buyer broker compensation changes that had occurred. And there's one question and answer that I wanted to highlight because it was one that I still felt a little bit hesitant to answer with clarity and certainty. And so the question was, the buyer's agency agreement requires the buyer to pay the buyer broker $10,000. The listing broker indicates that while it might be willing to pay some amount to the buyer broker, it will not commit to a specific amount until the seller has a chance to review the terms of a specific offer to purchase. How does the buyer broker protect their client? Very common situation right now, right? Where you call a listing agent and they're like, well, you know, we're open to it, but you know, we got to see the offer first. What's the best way to handle that? How do you write your offer when they're not telling you up front what they're willing to offer as a buyer broker compensation? The answer, they give us two different options. And either option is fine, which the second option was the one that I was a bit hesitant to tell people was legit. So they have two options. First, they can handle the situation just like they would if the listing broker said, no, we're not offering anything, and include a provision in the purchase agreement requiring the seller to pay the $10,000. That would be the buyer's broker compensation addendum. So just as if you call and they say, hey, we're not offering buyer compensation, you can include that, which is requesting the seller to pay your buyer broker compensation of $10,000. So then your buyer gets credited that at closing. Yes?
So you mean that this would go, even if we put it in our PA and we listed that we're requesting it, we still put the compensation addendum along with it? We want the separate piece of paper with.
So if you're going to go this route, if they're not offering any compensation up front, or if they're vague about it and you want to go this route, that's also fine. So you include this addendum with your purchase agreement, and in the purchase agreement, reference the addendum.
Okay.
Just say, see attached buyer broker compensation addendum. That's path one. Now, the pros and cons of that path, I'll discuss in a second, but we also have path number two, or they can submit with the offer a proposed compensation agreement between brokers for $10,000. And this is the part that I did not know until Michigan Realtors have now put it in writing to make it as clear as day. Include a provision in the purchase agreement making it contingent upon the listing broker agreeing to the broker compensation sharing agreement. So you can, now it is, Michigan Realtors have made it as clear as day. If you want, you can write in the purchase agreement, contingent on listing broker signing the compensation agreement between the brokers, and include that, and then don't worry about the buyer broker compensation addendum. The benefit of that one, let's talk about the pros and cons. Or do you need to take a photo? All right, you good? All right. So the pros and cons between the two. The compensation agreement between the brokers, this is the better one, quote unquote, in my view, because this is the one that maintains the status quo that existed before the change, which is that the listing broker, right here, is going to pay the 3% to RE/MAX Platinum. And that's the way it always was before, and this just keeps that going, and then you have that it's signed by you as the buyer's agent, and then somebody on the listing side, the listing broker or the listing agent, sign. So your client, the buyer and seller, don't have to sign this. This is a document that is just about, the sharing of compensation that the buyer and seller never need to see. So you can have it be contingent, your offer be contingent on the listing broker signing this, and that number and all of that, the buyer, it's not something that the buyer and seller have to be involved with. Okay? Yes?
You just said that we sign that, Nicole has to sign that one, right?
They have given, yes, theoretically, I do, but if we are, able to assign others to sign it as well.
Oh, so it has to be an authorized signature.
It has to be an authorized signature, it has to be authorized, correct. The way it's written is it has to be authorized.
So, and when I get those back sometimes, so that's why I like the other one, because this one, it's hard to get that listing broker to sign it. Usually the agent's signing it, like, here you go, and I'm like,
We don't know if they're authorized.
Bill, what's your take on that?
Oh, they have, they have to be authorized.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you have to either get an email or get
Yes.
something that says they're authorized to sign it.
And every agent, every brokerage has a different way that they've authorized people to do it. We don't know if they've blanket authorized all their agents to do it, or however it may be.
Okay, so
Okay.
I've been doing that one when I have a listing, I've been doing the other one when I have a buyer, because that way I know.
It makes sense.
So all of our agents are blanket authorized to sign?
Bill,
I've never asked Mr. to prove that question.
that was not, yeah, we kind of
I thought
haven't
we would.
gone that full direction yet. I think we're waiting for things, but I do think it's
But
important.
if we were the listing company, we have the listing agreement, which
Correct.
already has what our.
Potentially pre-authorized.
So we're
Yes.
kinda already there.
Yeah, there is,
right?
so if you've already got the pre-authorization for your seller to do it, Bill, what is your thought on that?
We have the
Well, as long
listing
as you have a
agreement.
listing agreement, you're authorized. I was thinking of the buyer side.
Right.
No, I would.
But as the listing office, are we authorizing them to go ahead and,
I'm not.
no, we'll ask Joe that.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll ask Joe that.
Okay.
We'll get you clarification on that.
All
These
right.
are the same forms that you've been seeing for the last
Yes.
few months.
So then this, though, is the other form, the buyer broker compensation addendum, that has the money coming from the seller. The seller shall pay on the buyer's behalf the 3%. So you have a vague situation, a listing agent saying, hey, just send over the offer and then we'll decide on compensation. You can go either route between these two. But the fact that you can go, the compensation agreement between the brokers and have it on the purchase agreement be contingent upon this being accepted, that was something that when I read this magazine and I came across that gave me a sense of relief, like, okay, we have it from the state association that a purchase agreement can be contingent on some other document being signed by the brokers, which 6 months ago or a year ago, I would not have thought was an option.
So I'm not really sure why you're saying, or I'm not understanding why you're saying that the compensation one is better than the buyer broker. It seems like if we always do the buyer broker compensation and the seller's signing it, then isn't that more secure for us? We don't have to wait on a signature or know if the signature is right, the seller is already agreeing?
I think it just depends on your situation and what seems more appropriate for the situation.
So the buyer broker compensation addendum would be if we've already, like, I often don't even ask. I put it in and I have mine and it says I get 3% or whatever my percentage is. We're not allowed to say that.
You can't go wrong with either one. This one, if the seller will agree, is always going to work. The listing brokerage may not have pre-authorization to dictate whether that's allowed or not without the seller. Bill?
Here's the problem. It's always been Michigan law that commission is not part of the purchase agreement because y'all aren't parties to the purchase agreement. Then we had this big settlement and all that stuff, and the first way that the William powers that be could figure out to do it was to have the seller pay it. And so that was the quickest thing that everybody could roll out first, and so that's what everybody rolled out first. It's never been litigated, never been tested, so we don't know what the law would do if somebody contested that addendum, making it part of the purchase agreement. We just don't know. But everybody, Michigan Realtors and everybody else thought, well, this is a quick way that we can do it, and so that's what we're going to do. So they put that out first. Then as they thought about it, they got to the compensation agreement between brokers. And so that's where we are now. Everybody knows that that's legal because that's like a listing agreement or whatever, and you can always have an agreement between brokers that because that agreement's not part of the purchase agreement, right? It's a separate agreement, so that's always been legal under Michigan law. It doesn't have to be tested, that's always been legal. Now, what you could do in your contingency, if you're making it contingent on getting that signed, the only thing you have to put in there as an additional word is it's contingent upon that agreement being signed by an authorized signer. And then you're golden, and maybe you don't get it until a couple weeks before closing, but at least you get it and you know that it's done by an authorized signer and you don't have to chase around for it. So I would just add that word authorized, but other than that, it's a perfectly good solution.
Wonderful. Did that help you or no?
What if they don't sign it?
Right.
Yeah.
It's right,
It's no deal.
What, I mean, if they're dilly-dallying around.
You have to remember, your buyers, are you more worried about your compensation being the reason your buyers don't get the home?
No, but that, if, let's
'Cause
say,
that's-
let's just say the listing agent, or let's say that the seller all of a sudden is like, I got a better offer, I don't wanna sell to buyer one, which is my client, and it's contingent on that being signed. All they have to do is not have their broker sign that form and the deal is dead. So I'm not so sure feel very comfortable with that.
And that's why there's two different versions for you to do, and every situation will yield one or the other more so than it.
Thank you for talking it through.
Yes.
I mean, but if we are saying, contingent on an authorized signer, so, I mean, if it was us, and it's our listing, and we get this, and the language in there, you have a listing contract that is authorized you to offer 3%, you're authorized to sign this on behalf of RE/MAX Platinum, showing that you're giving 3% to the buyer side. So, getting that offer shouldn't be any delay in getting it all signed, because if it was an offer on your listing, you're gonna have your seller sign the purchase agreement and all those docs, and you as the listing agent should sign this and wait till you have everything signed before you send back to the buy side. If you, as a listing agent, were to get the purchase agreement signed by the seller and send that back to the buyer's agent and not include this, I wouldn't understand why you would do that as a listing agent, I guess.
Well, 'cause you gotta get it to the broker, to get the broker to sign it.
Include a time limit for them, within 1 business day. Return within 1 business day, right? I mean, that means they have to get it back to you with an authorized signature within a day.
Well, I mean, your offer, expiration is the timeline. Like,
But a contingency isn't always.
Just call the agent, how much you offering, they tell you.
This is why you have options.
yeah. But regardless, I just wanted to make a plug to read your magazines that come out, because I thought that this one was the best one of the year so far, with all the content in it. So if you have not read it, actually go through and read. The legal hotline update was.
You picked a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. All the questions were very valuable. The answers were very direct. You didn't leave anything for, question. It's kind of hit on the things that you sit there and go, I'm not quite sure. I gotta figure this one out. And it hit on a lot of those points. Yeah, it really did.
The house will be downstairs.
Pardon?
The house will be downstairs.
Oh, perfect. So I don't know if any of you saw your emails come out yesterday from headquarters out of Denver.
What does it take to be the most trusted name in real estate? At RE/MAX, it starts with an unshakable belief in the power of every one of our agents. Guiding clients with passion, a commitment to excellence, and driven to become the real estate leaders in every market we serve. We are RE/MAX, and we are proud to be voted the #1 most trusted agents in all of real estate.
Just an example of how you can brand it, okay? So it is fully customizable, like you just saw. Sorry, I'm gonna go
what does it
past
take?
So
Is it in our
stops.
hustle? Oh.
It is in your hustle.
Can you go back one?
Yep, there we go. I went too far. This gets you to RE/MAX Hustle to log in and find that video.
Literally, right now, if you were to pull out your phone and scan this QR code, you could recreate that whole video branded to yourself within the next 60 seconds and share a link to your social media. All you would need on your phone is your headshot that you can upload into it. That's the one thing that would maybe, take a second if you don't
Take a
have-
good selfie? No.
Yeah. But yeah, like, any one of you, I mean, it's, I did it this morning just to test it, and yeah, it took me under a minute on my phone.
Let's see it.
You want me to do it right now? Okay, so I'm going to start. Nicole will keep talking, go on, and then I'm going to log into KV Core and send out a company-wide text with a link to the video that I'm going to start making right now. Okay?
So what does everybody struggle with? Trust, right? We're building trust, we're building relationships. This video kind of hits on all those points. It doesn't kind of, it does. It hits on all of those points for you. These are the pre-made and customizable things that you are able to share on all of your social media, any avenue that you would like. Autumn is back there, but go into Hustle, check it out, make your quick little plug. It says everything for you. You don't have to recreate the wheel. There is a plethora of resources just like this within our systems. Please utilize them. It couldn't be any easier. They've made it so stupid easy to personalize these for yourselves and make them custom so that it's you sending it and not just generic, okay? It is so important in this day and age to be the trusted resource. The brand has worked so hard to keep and maintain that for their agents. And you should be so proud that it is voted the #1 trusted resource in real estate. That is a massive accomplishment that they have been able to maintain for a long time, okay? So, I'm gonna challenge everybody to go in and check this out today, please. It will literally only take you up to a couple of minutes to do it. All right? Anybody accept the challenge?
I'm doing it right now.
Perfect, wonderful. Can't wait to see them starting to be on your social media pages, all right? Anything else on this one?
They also have reels and everything. So
Yes,
like
everything.
it's not just long form video. There's
Yes.
there's 5-10 second reels that you can just do.
Customize. Yeah, that was the long form, believe it or not. So we can there's shortened clips of it. There are multiple.
It's like processing already. I'm ready to.
Yeah.
It just
No, yeah.
finished.
I got my link.
That was 15 seconds.
I could literally send it to anybody right now if you wanted me. I could just text you the link to the video.
So cool. They pay a lot of money to make these videos. Utilize
I
them.
don't really want to send this out company-wide because you don't really see my mug.
I mean, you can only if you put your
Y'all can
outfit
go to
on.
my Facebook page. It's on there.
There you go.
Like and share, Jen.
Like
Stop
and share.
They did, you click it, they just made a new commercial, that's what this is.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
We can send it to our clients.
Last year was pulling on the heartstrings a lot. Oh, how many people cried in the one from last year? I know I sobbed like a baby. So, fantastic. All right, moving forward. All right, Michigan United Mortgage. We've got both of our ladies in the house right now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Be quick. I think you have a slide for me. I sent it to Autumn yesterday.
Autumn. Hold on. Let me see if she did. You sent it to Autumn?
Yep.
Okay. Nope. Hold on. Let
Okay.
me. We can pull. It's something that we could pull up and put on there for you very
That's
easily.
A couple things I'll mention. I have had a few questions in the last 2 weeks alone having to do with conventional mortgages and people getting appraisals and that have repairs. So none of these were my transactions. There were a couple realtors here in this office and actually a transaction outside of this office by a loan officer that I know. So the answer is yes, you can have repairs on conventional. You don't see it very often. 2 of the 3 that I've heard of in the last couple weeks did have to do with handrails, so that is a safety issue. Exposing, there could be a drop off because there's lack of a wall on one side or simply because there's multiple stairs and you need handrails. The kind of a cool story last week, I have a loan officer that I've known for 25 years and she works for another company and she has a full-time job and she does mortgages on the side, so she just is not up on everything as she should be because it's not her full-time job. But she called me freaking out that she has a repair on this conventional loan and her realtor's super upset and she's a great resource and this realtor does a lot of business in the Oakland County and refers her quite a bit of business, and this realtor's so upset over this handrail issue and she said, should I argue it and try to fight this whole thing? And I said, well, is it because somebody doesn't want to put the handrail in? And she's like, just because this, for lack of time. So I said, well, who's your loan with? And she said it was with United Wholesale, who's one of our partners. As you know, they're only a wholesale lender. And I said, well, you do know that you can do the virtual inspection, so you don't have to send the inspector, the appraiser back out there. She's like, no, I didn't know that. So I did bring that up to you guys weeks ago. So just so you know, she actually, her realtor ended up posting a picture of her being a hero rather than a zero over this inspection because they went and put the handrail in that night, ordered the virtual inspection. It was done at 8 in the morning. The homeowner just did a video with the appraiser that morning. It's only $56, not $250. So they still were able to close the following day, caused no delays. So I share that with you because there are easy ways to get around some things before we freak out, and sometimes we freak out first and then calm down later. So there certainly are ways to get through things a little bit smoother. But just keep that in mind about handrails, because I think it's funny that's come up twice in the last couple weeks. And then my flyer's not up here, but I'll just share with you what it is. There's a software program that I use, and last week I shared with you an open house flyer that I did. Made one for Michelle Hurst, made one for Keisha. I did make something for Keisha today that was going to be a little surprise, but it's not here for us, so I'll give it to you after the meeting. But you know what I find out sometimes on weekends, very often I'll have somebody call and say that their buyer is getting ready to put an offer, and the buyer wants to go low, and the realtor really thinks they should go higher, and they're wondering, like, let's share with them like the difference in the payments. So I have a pretty cool little graphic that I can create. So if you're going to show homes on the weekend and your buyer's in that $250 price range, I can do the flyer that shows you like from $225 to $300 and interest rates from like 6.5 to 7.5, just so you can kind of cross-reference and see really what a difference it makes. I have found very often on weekends that people call and ask this question, and a home buyer will be like, you know what, let's go up in price 50 grand because I see it's really not making that big of a difference. So it can make a difference by continuing to re-educate our buyers, because so often we'll find those that want to keep their payment at $1,500, but then they find out really for $1,600 they're getting a heck of a lot better house. So I can create this flyer for you guys if you want it at any time, if you're going to show homes, or even if you have a listing and you want to have it at an open house. And it's co-branded, so it has my information, your information, and just a range of different payments and price ranges. So I think it's a kind of another helpful tool. I think today our tools are so important in being educated and educating our people, help them get their feet off the ground and get moving. So I will give that flyer to you today, Keisha, because I made it for you. But for anybody, I can put your name, your phone number, your contact information, my information, and
Could you share a copy of those flyers on our Facebook, in our office one, so that people can see examples of what you're doing and maybe can ask for some?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And then the last thing I'll mention to you is a couple of Saturdays ago, it was a 3-day weekend in the federal government world, because that Monday was Veterans Day. So that on that Saturday, actually on that Friday night, I was at a football game for the Howell High School, who did great this year. But anyway, so a guy called, wanted a pre-approval. He was putting in an offer with Miguel from our office in Ann Arbor, actually. And he called me that Friday night and I said, I'm sorry, I'm at a game. I can't do anything for you at the moment. I said, but I certainly can do it first thing in the morning, or I can do it when I get home tonight. And he had 2 small kids. He goes, let's do it in the morning. So in the morning, we did this pre-approval real quick, gathered all his documents. Golden buyer, had a nice conversation. His realtor, or the listing agent, ended up calling that night, just trying to validate the pre-approval. And I always like those phone calls, because I know I've been in this business for a long time. I know what I'm talking about. I can give the listing agent confidence that the pre-approval is actually very valid. And she even said, she's like, sometimes you see them dated on a Saturday and you think somebody's just, sending it off to them so they can put an offer in. And I said, yeah, I'm glad you called. And so on that Sunday, she called me back and she said, hey, thanks for taking my call again. We're going to counter offer. I just want to make sure that we can go up in price. I said, that's up to the buyer before I can share that with you, because I don't want them to know, like, yeah, counter offer, you can afford more. I said, so I can have another conversation with the buyer once you do the counter. So as it turned out, they countered, they settled. So I didn't hear anything for 2 days. So I contacted the buyer and I said, hey, I know there was competing offers that did not go through. And he said, no, actually it was accepted. I'm like, great. I'm like shocked that I didn't hear anything. After 5 phone calls from Friday night to Sunday. And he goes, yeah, he goes, I had contacted my uncle who's a loan officer on Friday in Minnesota, but because it was a weekend and they were not open on Mondays, he wasn't able to help me until Tuesday. So here's uncle, wasn't willing to help him Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I was helping him Saturday and Sunday. And then now his uncle suddenly is helping him. And I said, well, I'd love to even compare, even though you are related. I said, I would love to compare what kind of offer he's giving you for closing costs and everything. I said, because I'm pretty sure brokers cannot make as much money as lenders. So we're typically lower in rate by a small margin, but we're always lower in fees. So as it turns out, he sends me the estimate, and I didn't hear anything back from him. And that night I texted him. I said, I know you're home with the kids, but he's usually easier to reach at night. And I said, if we can have time to discuss this, because I think there's good reason for you to maybe consider, doing this with me. And I said, and even your uncle probably would give you a pat on the back to say, hey, you got to do what's best for you. So he said, yeah, I'll text you tomorrow. That was Wednesday. Thursday goes by, and I'm like, okay, I can't beat the uncle apparently. Just it's relatives, and but I'm trying. Like our business is low. I'm trying to get every business I can. I will try. So Friday at 4 to 5, he texts me, do you have time for a call? Well, hell yeah, I do. So he calls me. He goes, my uncle said to go with you. You know what you're doing. He was very confident in everything he read in your emails, and that you were very elaborate in explaining things, and that while you're very close in costs, that using a local lender is probably the best thing for my behalf. So I ended up getting this deal. So I'm telling you this because don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid ever to tell people to seek a second opinion, because you can beat the uncle, you can beat the aunt, you can beat the cousin, you can beat the dog. Don't beat the dog. But anyways, there's opportunities. I think we do a really good job. So for any of those opportunities that we can at least compare, I'd love to see that somebody's at least putting it in front of us so we have a chance. So any questions for me? That flyer I'll get to somebody to get on the Facebook page.
Perfect.
And I'll print those for you and anybody who wants them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the support that you always give. Always. All right. Miss Lisa, would you like to just say hi?
Yes, I'm going to come down in front for the people who are on TV.
I almost wore the jacket today. We would have been an identical match. I should have wore it.
Just a reminder, I'm here. If 12 sessions a year, if you're under that number, we can make it up in the next 6 weeks. But if you're not sure how many you have left, let me know, and I will let you know, and we'll get some things scheduled for you. And yeah, good luck on the wrap up of the year, and congratulations to the amazing job that our managers are doing for you guys. They're talking about it, they're planning it, and they're following through. So good job, guys. Seriously. Okay, thank you.
There's a lot of hard work that goes behind closed doors, let me tell you, but it's worth every moment of it. Ken, for you, we have 12 free life coach sessions a year, and Lisa.
You read my mind. I was
yes.
like, okay, what does she do?
Yes, she is our life coach. We will get you her calendar. Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Actually, you can click on her QR code if you want. If you want to take a picture of her QR code, you'll be right up, linked up to her calendar. And we all know this, right? Got it?
Got it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, Alex, come on down.
There we go.
Happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Always
yeah.
appreciate all your support being here.
I had also sent some slides to Autumn, but I think she was trying to get a hold of me. I was on the phone this morning. Either way, please don't click the QR codes. Tanya and I actually had this conversation earlier. We switched our website server or something like that, so there's been an issue with our QR codes. So we'll get some new ones. We'll make sure those are up there. I just want to talk briefly about investment properties. So I know we've had a lot of success with, a lot of times realtors will buy houses and rent them out, those types of things. So we've got a lot of good options for those. Obviously we're looking at dwelling coverage, liability, and then the loss of rents. So we've had some situations kind of come up recently. Properties in the Flint area where people have been displaced from their home, and that loss of rents coverage has come in huge to cover, obviously if you're charging $1,500 a month for rent and your renters can't live there because of a fire or because the side of the house was shot up, like in our case, or whatever it might have been, it's definitely nice to be putting that $1,500 back in your pocket for up to 1 year while the house is renovated or repaired. So that's really all I wanted to touch on. You guys will be seeing a little bit less of me. Any prayers, good vibes, all that type of stuff would be greatly appreciated. My wife's got some health stuff going on right now, so she's going through treatment and all those types of things. So I'll be in, but not quite as much. I probably won't be here every week moving forward. I just have to kind of be, closer to home a little bit. So I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for the floor. And yeah, if you guys want to put in a good word with Horse Feathers, maybe we can get a comedy show going out there.
Ooh, that's a good
and,
idea.
have a little fun, you know what I'm saying? So
yes.
Sounds good. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I will. Us up to
I will,
date,
absolutely.
please.
Yes. Things are looking good for now.
Wonderful.
So.
We'll send all the good vibes and prayers that we can.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate you sharing with us. Select. Hi, Mr. Bill.
We hear often about fraud on vacant land and people putting their signs on property that they don't own and all that kind of good stuff. And I just wanted to show you one that happened right here in beautiful Livingston County, because we think that it only happens in, on the East Coast or the West Coast or whatever, but it's happening here, assuming that Nicole can find a tech person to put it up on the screen. I also wanted to say that I get a lot of credit for stuff that my smart staff does, and I appreciate them mightily. And this one was discovered by Andrew. It wasn't discovered by me, it was discovered by Andrew. And the people said to Andrew, what do you think about this? Because this is making me uncomfortable. I haven't met the guy, and I just want to know what you think about him. And he sent them an advertisement, or he sent them his passport. He said, no, I'm really me, and here's my passport to prove that it's really me. So when Andrew looked at it, he went, no. First of all, it says that this guy was born in October 13th of 1985. I gotta call bullshit, right? So Andrew immediately, then he looked at it further, and you can tell if you actually look at the first one that we got, that this is an overlay, that he overlaid his picture onto somebody else's passport, who was in fact Daniel Moore, who owned the property. So this guy had no connection to the property whatsoever, and he was trying to put a deal through with somebody else and claimed that he was born in 1985 in Pennsylvania. And I mean, this is just fabricated. Fraud, fraud, fraud. So, and I guess most people, you get that on your email and you go, oh, okay, cool, he's the guy. But I have staff that's been trained not to accept anything at face value. So Andrew immediately, it took him like a minute to say, no, this ain't the guy.
Signatures didn't match properly to an old deed, so they were able to find the old deed to the property that was.
See the signature up top there?
Yeah. So that signature was not the same as what was on the deed, okay, first and foremost. The picture overlay was the second one, if you can see right here. You can see it the most right there, okay? And the third one was
the
birthday. And then there was another one. It was that they requested a driver's license and he immediately sent a passport. Not saying that a passport doesn't suffice, because it does. However, most people, if requested to send a driver's license, most people have a driver's license or some sort of state ID.
So if you have questions about somebody who's presenting you with an ID, I've got people that are trained to be very paranoid. So send it over to us, and we're happy to look at it, and we'll go the extra mile like Tanya does to prove that we're not just making this stuff up, and we can investigate, compare signatures, we can do all that stuff. So I just wanted to show that to you and know that we're not immune to it here.
Oh, and it's expired.
Yeah. It's expired
and
also.
It's expired.
But so just so you know, this is Livingston County. This happened in.
Oh no, it's not expired.
So
Right?
what did you do with this?
Huh?
What did you do with this scenario?
We sent it back to the realtor and told him everything that was wrong with him, and they just blew the guy off and said, no, we're not going to.
This is a very common practice, unfortunately. There isn't much that can really. They're typically fraudulent email addresses, phone numbers.
I mean, can't do much legally if that's your question. I mean.
Well, I'm only asking this because we're still doing our audit, and one of the things they said with our identity theft is we should be reporting any suspicious activity to the authorities. So
We do report these,
Yes.
yes.
It was vacant land.
It was vacant land in Whitmore Lake.
Yeah, vacant land in Whitmore.
So it's happening very close to home. We've heard of it happening north of here, south of here, west, east. Just the point is, this just happened in the last couple weeks. It's very alive and real. It has not decreased down. The only thing that it has increased is the fact, or what has increased is that we are more diligently aware of it as individuals, and we have to continue to be and become more and more, as Bill said, paranoid as we're going along, and that is reality. Vacant land is a huge target.
Another thing that's happened to Select in the last few weeks is somebody got a hold of one of our checks that I guess they got it from, I don't know where they got it from. We still can't find them, but they are using this check to pay people. Different vendors, like they've paid a hair salon with one of our checks, they've paid a dog groomer, they've paid, and they have a copy of a check that was signed twice, like it's supposed to be my signature, and I forget who else is on there. Looks like a valid check, the numbers aren't, so they're giving it to people who they are getting services from, and then our bank is catching it every time because we have a positive pay system, and every time it comes in, they're like, I don't think so. So they're denying the check on our end, so we're not losing any money, but all these people who are getting these checks, and it's up to, I think the number's somewhere over close to 50, that they've been circulating these checks around. And we're having to apologize to the people and, tell them it's not our check. And, it's not costing us any money, but it's costing us a lot of time and aggravation. And there's not much that the bank can do because we can't find them. We can't find their...
cameras of the person passing these checks?
Well, they're passing it out. I mean, a dog groomer. How much do you have a camera with your dog groomer?
That's why no one takes checks.
Yeah. So, again, that is one of the reasons people are leery about taking checks. So just, just be aware that the fraudsters are out there. Fortunately, we're staying one step ahead of them, but just barely. So be vigilant, be paranoid. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Oh, sure it is.
And if people are calling you out of the blue or emailing you out of the blue, all your red flags and antennas should go up that this is a bad deal. Occasionally, it will turn out all right, but most times it's a fraudster, so just be aware.
Thank you, Bill.
Yep. Any questions?
Trevor Group called me, he needed money overseas.
He's overseas a lot.
He calls me.
He texts and calls.
I got one from my pastor.
Oh, geez.
That said, I need you, I'm trying to do a surprise for the women in the office. Will you go and buy some gift cards?
Yeah.
And then take pictures of the gift cards and send them back to me, and then I'll reimburse you when I see you on Sunday. I'm like,
Wow, that's pretty elaborate.
yeah, I'm like, I better call. I called him, he said, no, it's a scam, bunch of people at church got them. And some fell for it. I mean, some actually did it.
Oh, of course, it's the pastor. So
yeah, it's a pastor, you're like, right away, yeah, I'll do it.
So with that being said, our meeting is concluded. If you have any questions or need anything, let us know. We have everything set up in the back room.
There are 5 dips to judge. There's some slips of paper right when you grab a plate. So once you're done, come back around, write the number that you're judging, and then if your dish has a number by it, if you could tell me what number you are, that would be helpful.
And the contest winner will receive an Amazon gift card. But a real one. You'll receive it via email, so you don't have to carry something with you. But it will be legitimate. Go enjoy, have some fun. We have beverages back there. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for making the trip.
Nicole, the last discussion there.
The fraud one?
No, the fraud one.
Yes.
What was, I'm trying to figure out what was going on there. So the person presented himself as the owner of the house. That's what I thought.
And that is, it is a very common practice.
So then the deal would start to transact with them, they would get money, and it's not their property.
There's actually closings that have taken place everywhere. There have been fraudulent closings across the nation for the last few years for this type of stuff. It's just getting so sophisticated that the title companies have, most title companies like ours, we have probably better safeguards in place, but there are a lot of you'll see like weird title company names that you don't recognize or that are spin-offs. They usually run them through places that they can more get away with doing it there, more rural type
So he has to take it another, he had to take it another level, then he had to have a big title company then.
No, he would run it through a real one.
Okay.
It would all be ran legitimately through. It would just be him as fraudulently as the seller.
So he would show up at a closing potentially with his fake information, he would sign, he would get the check.
Yes, it is happening.
I didn't even know that that kind of thing.
It's a real thing. It's actually happening in vacant homes too. It's happening in rental homes. It is a very, very bad, uncommon practice.
Good to know.
Yes, it is everything. We don't have to sit and go through all the fraud stuff that we see. Because there's quite a lot, how they get into your email. They follow you all along and they know when to hit for wire fraud's massive. Just massive.
Are these people mainly local in the United States, or they're all in the country? They're able to pull this off with closing and not showing up? Because they can do the closing without them there, is that what it's?
There's a lot of closings. Now, with the wire fraud though, they don't have to be at the closing because it's actually a real closing, a real buyer, a real seller. They've infiltrated your email, and what they do is send different wire instructions at the right moment. They watch the entire process. They know exactly when to send that email. You will never barely notice the difference in the email address or anything.
The spoof,
The spoof,
right,
everything,
okay.
and then the wire's just gone, and anything under $1 million doesn't get touched. If it's under $1 million, it doesn't get touched by the FBI. So, these people are unfortunately.
It's amazing, I had to wire some money a couple years ago, and the amount of effort that goes to wire money, the people you have to talk to, it's interesting. I'm like,
How
why
many
is there
times?
all this scrutiny? It was only like 20 grand or something, but it was like,
That's why.
so it's amazing that that still can go on because there's so much contact.
It happens all the time. Elderly are really targeted by dating overseas, but in real estate, it's a huge practice. And it's so sophisticated.